Okay, so today is October 23rd, 2024. I am 10 weeks and 4 days, I think, now. I have still been feeling very, very sick. It's been rough. And the kids have had stomach issues. Harper had vomiting and diarrhea for a few days. And then Raylan started being sick as well. So that was all going on. So that definitely didn't help my nausea. Waking up in the middle of the night, all that has been really terrible. I'm peeing all the time. And then to top it off, of course, Hudson on Monday broke his wrist. So it's been a rough week, I guess, to say the least. I still have not told work yet. That's something that I'm still waiting to do. I'm supposed to go in this week to have the NIPT test done. So I actually have a call into the doctor's office to find out, can I just walk in and get that done? What do I need to do? And then also something that's different this time around that I'm trying to get some answers on is they haven't scheduled me for a sonogram as part of the NIPT, which, because of my age, last time with Harper, that's what they did. So this is a different doctor's office. I'm not exactly sure if that's just because of the doctor's office. I did look it up. It looks like that's something that they typically do in combination with each other. So I don't know if the people who scheduled the appointment just don't know any better, but I'm waiting on a call back from the nurse to make sure that I get everything done that I'm supposed to get done. So, not sure that I'll share these videos, but if I do, I guess my piece of advice there is don't just take the first thing that somebody tells you. Question certain things, especially when it comes to your care, because I've noticed that moving from one office to a different office now that we've moved to a different city, the care here seems a lot different. So not always a good thing. So I've had to sort of advocate for myself in a few different situations now. So don't love that, but we're working through it, and we'll hopefully be able to get everything done that we would have normally gotten done with our original office. But yeah, I mean, as far as updates go, I did go to the gym the other day for the first time in like 3 weeks. It wasn't a great workout. I mostly walked. I did jog lightly a little bit. I was very bloated and just not feeling awesome. But I'm also very nauseated still all the time. So it's difficult to get myself into the mood to go to the gym when the only thing that seems to really calm my nausea is eating, and going to the gym on, with things in my stomach has never been something I've enjoyed. So I typically like to have something very light and drink water and, just be kind of on an empty stomach for the most part when I go to the gym. That's how I've always been. So having to have things on my stomach a lot has just been rough. It's just been terrible. The heartburn hasn't been so bad. I will say there's been definitely some heartburn, but I've really only had to take Tums a couple of times. And I notice it for sure when I eat foods that are either greasy or, spicy, that kind of stuff. Anything with a lot of spices will kick it up, but it's not bad so far. Let's see. My energy level does seem to have been coming back. I started taking B6 a few weeks ago because nausea was so bad. And so I noticed that the B6 does somewhat help. I wouldn't say it's like a cure by any stretch for the nausea, but it does help a little bit. And I did notice pretty quickly, like within a week of taking the B6, that my energy level started to really come back. So that's been nice. I wouldn't say I'm where I was before. I'm still pretty tired. I'm still lacking in motivation, but getting basic things done, getting my work done, getting, laundry done, cleaning up around the house, that kind of thing, I can get it done. It's not like awesome, but I can get it done. What else? Gosh, I had a little bit of a breakdown on Sunday, I think it was. It's the first time I've cried, I guess, since I got pregnant. And given that this was not a planned pregnancy, this was something that we weren't expecting. And truthfully, I don't know that we're fully prepared for another baby. That was a big, big shock to us. The fact that I haven't cried until now, I think was something that was pretty overdue, honestly. But I just needed to be able to share how I was feeling with Charlie, and he was kind of in a bad mood. He was tired, and it just I couldn't help it. I just all flooded in, and I just started to bawl. But he was great. He was very supportive, and we talked through everything. But basically I'm feeling very much like there's been a lot put on our plates. I've been emotional, and I've been nervous and scared, and kind of compartmentalizing some of this. With all of my other pregnancies, I told my employer, gosh, right away. I mean, right away. With this one, here we are. I'm almost 11 weeks, and I still haven't told them. We've told our close friends and family, but have not announced it on Facebook or any of that stuff yet. So it's not that we're not excited. It's just that it's been a lot to process. And so I think we're just trying to make sure all the tests are done first. So getting in and getting the NIPT is going to be really helpful. But then, just making sure that we can be excited about it when we do the announcement, is something that's important to us. I don't know. I am excited. Don't get me wrong. I'm super, super excited to have another baby in the family. I know that Harper is going to love having a sibling, and I know that the two big kids, they're going to love this baby. And in fact, Hudson is just over the moon about it. He really hopes that it's a boy. He keeps calling it by name. He's got his own ideas, but financially, it's a pretty big deal. Also just because I'm not sure that I'll want to return to work once the baby is born, because I did have so much time off with Harper, and that sort of opened my eyes a lot to what my priorities were when she was born. And I always said that if I had another baby, given the opportunity, I would not go back to work, at least for the first year. And I never thought that was something that was going to happen. So it was not something that I was budgeting for. And so it's a little bit scary. I mean, I think we can make it work, but it's not something that I had intended to have happen. So we'll see, we'll definitely see how this all plays out, but that part is stressful to me. Just because I know that if I do return to work, I'm going to regret it. But I also know that if I don't return to work, then we're going to be stressed financially. So it's just kind of a shitty situation, to be honest with you. But everything happens for a reason. I'm not gonna dwell on it every single day. But I will say that that's part of some of the anxiety and some of the stress that goes into this pregnancy. I think I've said on the last video, this will be a 4th C-section. So a big part of my stress when I first found out that I was pregnant was having a 4th C-section. We had a call with our doctor, and the doctor explained to us the risks. And so that's another thing that I'm really hoping that I can get the best care possible here, because it's a scary thing, you know, to think that you go in for your C-section and you could be, you know, having a hysterectomy, you could have, you know, a lot of bleeding. There's some big risks. So, yeah, so that's concerning. I really wish I could have continued my care with our previous provider, but it's just, we're 2.5 hours away, so it's not possible, and it's not safe if I were to go into labor or something prior to my due date. So yeah, so that's my update. As far as, you know, like I said, how I'm feeling, those are kind of the main things that's been going on. Just the nausea still, the fatigue's not as bad, but it's still there. Emotional, for sure, emotional. I'm not really showing much yet. I'm starting to show a little bit, but I think it's more like bloating and added weight from the eating situation than it is actually showing. But my pants are definitely tight. Like, it's the fat stage, okay? Like, every pregnancy I've ever had, it's this fat stage. It's between like 9 and 14 weeks, and you're just like not really showing, but you know it's there. So a few extra cheeseburgers or something is what it looks like. It's probably about what it is. But all right, well, there's my update for week 10, almost to the end of the first trimester. Really looking forward to that.